Boom. So let's hop into the call. So what I want to actually talk about today, and I'm gonna give this to y'all in 30 minutes, 30 minutes tops, because we got, Chairman 50, got a Chairman 50 call right after this call. So what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about becoming. Check this out. I'm gonna give you guys everything that God has been downloading to me for the past couple of days, for the past couple of weeks. I'm gonna download it into you guys. So, and in all that you're doing, what are you becoming? And all that you're doing, what are you becoming? And one thing I got to a point today when I realized, like, I really understand this stuff. Like, they say it take years for it to finally click, and I just feel like it really just like click, 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 clicked, click, click, click for me today. Um, I feel like I understand the process of becoming. I understand the process of how all of this the game of life works, even though you don't know everything. But like I said, all that you're doing, what are you becoming? And all that you're doing, what are you becoming? Understand this, guys. You know you're on purpose if you're becoming. You know you're in process if you're figuring out your purpose while you're becoming. You know that you know that you in the process of figuring out your purpose. That's what I meant to say. If you're becoming while you're doing, you know that you're in the process of figuring out your purpose if you're becoming while you're doing, right? Becoming has everything to do with actionable steps, right? And what I mean by that is I'm gonna give you guys a definition of becoming. Check this out, right? Because can somebody drop it in the chat box? What is the what is the company motto, right? Somebody drop it in the chat box. It's the part that everyone overlooks. It's the part that everyone overlooks. Somebody drop it in the chat box for me. Someone drop it in the chat box. No. What is at the beginning of the what is at the beginning of the conversation? No. I'm gonna tell you guys. What's at the beginning of the conversation, at the end of the conversation, is two things. What will you become? And I really feel like 97% of people overlook that. And I'm gonna go into detail on what I mean. So, what will you become? And this is what you want to actually, pay attention to too. So, the definition of becoming is this: the process of coming to be something. Listen, the definition of becoming is the process of, because I feel like if you understand becoming, you will respect your process and you will show up every day to actually walk out your process. So the process of becoming, the process of coming to be something or a passing into a state. The process of coming to be something. That's becoming. You want to write that down. The process of coming to be something, right? If you want to, like, you your line up, the process of coming to be something. And if I go back, what does process mean? So I looked up the definition of process. What process mean is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular event. I'm gonna say it again. A series of action. Oh, I keep saying Siri. A series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So I just talked about becoming, the process of coming to be something. And I just talked about process. It's basically steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So going back to what I was saying before, guys, becoming has everything to do with actionable steps. And what I mean by that is this: I had plenty of times when I would come up along my journey, even with trading, and I would constantly blow trading accounts a lot. Even with the business, I would get frustrated sometimes, but not really frustrated. Or I would ask myself, why isn't I'm at where I want to be? Check this out. Becoming has everything to do with actionable steps. Meaning this: I have a goal, I know what I want, and once I have that goal, that promise that I'm believing for, I'm gonna write down the actionable steps, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps in order to get to that goal. So once I do that, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna erase the goal and I'm gonna focus on the steps. So listen, the process is taking actionable steps to a particular end. Becoming has everything to do with the process of coming to be something. So if I'm putting my energy and focusing on my energy on the steps, by default, I just became a different person to actually have what it is that I actually want. So the thing is this, if I go back to, just trading it for an example, yeah, I want to make this amount of income, but I want to make the income, but what is the actionable steps that I'm taking every day to actually acquire that? Same thing if I'm talking about, the business. Yeah, I want to make this goal come to pass, but what is the actionable steps that I'm personally taking to make this goal come to pass? If you're feeling me, drop some tools in the chat box. If you're feeling me, drop some tools in the chat box. Because if you get it, it'll click, right? And all you're doing, what are you becoming? And all you're doing, what are you becoming, right? So knowing that, understand this, guys. What if I told you that everything you're believing God for is already done? All that simply means is you just have, look, guys, everything that you want is really already done. The only thing is you haven't became that person to actually receive it. Point blank, period. And all that simply means is what series of steps are you taking to actually get to where you want to go? Because an example, we got a chairman on the line. Me and I'm McCoy, even myself. We know the actionable steps. Listen, we know the actionable steps that is gonna take every day to become a chairman. Brittany Burrell, she know the actionable steps to take every day to become a six-figure trader. So all that simply means is when you get to the point and you're thinking from the perspective of actionable steps and you do those every single day, guys, that's literally how you become that certain person or get to that certain version of yourself, of that get that certain version of yourself to acquire what it is that you actually want, right? Hope that makes sense. Understand this, guys. God is the one who's over access granted or access denied. He's the one over access granted and access denied. The only reason why you're not where you want to be right now is because you still haven't took those specific actionable steps to get to where you want to go. Point blank, period. Because if you took those actionable steps that you know you need to be taken to get to where you want to go, that's called honoring the process. You can become that person to actually receive it. Understand this, guys. Through wisdom, a house is built, but through understanding, it is basically established. And what that basically means is this: through wisdom, a house is built. You picture you as the house. Through wisdom, wisdom is all around you because information is not new. An example: if you wanted wisdom on cryptocurrency to earn as a crypto millionaire, you can just go to the DCX Academy. Through wisdom, a house is built. But check this out. Through understanding, it's established. So when it comes to information, it's not that we lack information because information is never new. It's just that we lack understanding. The only difference between someone that's highly successful that you look up to and you, nothing. The only thing is they just understand better than you. And what do understanding comes from? Understanding just comes from intentional focused growth. Guys, write this down. When you're intentional on the person that you want to become, when you're intentional, that's when your life begins to actually change, guys. And one of the biggest things that I feel like that hinders a lot of individuals, and you have to be aware of it, because when you're aware of certain things, you can just maneuver around it and just literally stay productive on that person that you actually want to become. So check this out. I came to a realization how others grow. I came to a realization time is irrelevant. And you have some individuals that grow a lot faster than others and some that don't. And one thing I realized that time is on our side because all the time doesn't really exist when you becoming a person who you actually want to become. It really doesn't exist. It really doesn't matter. And knowing that, one thing that I realized that you might have a person like an example. When I told when it's these videos that I actually showed somebody um that want to get into the cryptocurrency academy and everything. I said, hey, watch these videos. It's about 17 hours long. You might have some individuals that go through the process and watch those 10 videos that's 17 hours long tops in 30 days, but you might have others that actually manage their time and get through those 17 hours of videos within 72 hours, right? Because check this out. All I'm doing is I'm getting an understanding on a person that I want to become to acquire the promises that God already actually purchased for me. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, right? But like I said before, the biggest battle that people face is the battle for their focus. And you have to be aware that you have to know your distractions. What I want everyone to do, you need to write out a list of your distractions and make it your home screen or lock screen. What is going to be the main distractions that's going to hinder you from becoming a person that you want to actually become? What is going to be the, sorry about that. But like I said, the biggest battle that y'all facing right now, like anybody that's not focused or not where they want to be, it's either you losing focus or it's either you lost focus or you're not taking the actionable steps. Those is the main two things, point blank period. So when you know what your distractions are or the things that's gonna deter you from actually becoming the person who can receive the promise, you can be more aware to just put your energy and focus and time and attention on those actionable steps. So an example, my some of my biggest distractions that I know that's gonna hinder me from getting to where I want to go is people. It's people. So knowing that, even before I even pick up a phone call, I text a person, I ask them, hey, what's going on? Everything's okay. I'm not just gonna pick up. Why? Because my energy, because understand this, your life goes in the direction of your eyes. Whatever or whoever has your attention has your life. So guess what? Your goals can have your attention so you can focus on becoming every day, or distractions can have your attention because your life follow your eyes. Your life goes in the direction of your eyes. Your life is your energy, right? You need energy to become a whole lot sooner. So understanding that if I know my distractions, write this down. Focus stands for follow one course until success. Focus stands for follow one course until success. Focus stands for follow one course until success. I'm saying this from the perspective of, guys, when I understood this, I'm like, okay, cool. I can really get to where I want to go a whole lot sooner. An example, it took me 30 days to go through that bounce back course. I went through the course like 6 times back in March. It took me 30 days because I was putting my focus towards that. And even in the past 2 weeks, guys, I almost went through 2 crypto educators, all their favorite video sections in a matter of 2 weeks because I know, because focus, follow one course into success. If I'm building a business and I'm a leader, I'm gonna think from the perspective of who is my leaders and who am I working with. So I understand if I'm building my business and I'm working and I'm finding new empires, I'm gonna put my energy and focus towards them. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm intentional with everything that I'm doing. Yes, when you begin to think in that perspective, you begin to get a whole lot of stuff done. You're gonna start thinking from the perspective of, I have 24 hours in a day. Out of these 24 hours, what do I need to schedule out and plan out to put my energy and focus towards so I can become a whole lot sooner in specific areas? Write this down. Whatever area that you ignorant in, you don't know, you suffering. Meaning this, if you're somebody that's building a business and you know that it's specific things that you need to do in order to like become that leader that you really want to become. Like an example, if I know that if I'm building a business, I need to get better at communication. I need to get better at showing the plan. I need to get better at my leadership. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna study somebody. I'm gonna study somebody on leadership. John C. Maxwell. If I want to get better on my communication, I'm gonna study somebody on communication. Right? If I know I need to put my reps in for showing the plan, I'm gonna put my 30 minutes to 1 hour a day in on showing the plan every day. So when I'm doing that every single day for 7 days straight, for 4 weeks straight in a month, guys, you're becoming a whole lot sooner. Guys, I was not thinking like this 2 years ago. I was not thinking like this 3 years ago. I'm telling you guys this. Like, if you understand this, you can get to where you want to go 100 times faster and even hit hit different areas all throughout the week. If this is making sense, drop some ones in the chat box, right? Let me know that you actually with me if you understand it. Because I don't want to just talk, because if what's said not called, if what's said not understood, you will never really become. So again, the battle is for your focus. The battle is for your focus. What you focus on grows. What you focus on, you become. Right? So understanding that, guys. So like I said before, you're not in purpose if you're not, like I said, you're not in purpose if you're not becoming while you're doing. So how you know that God called you to this is because, check this out. This is how you know that God called you to this. Check this out. He called you to this because he wanted you to become while you're doing in the process. Because before that, before you was in this, you was just doing, aka just working a job. And when you was working a job, you was acquiring income, but at the same time, you wasn't growing, you wasn't becoming. And because you wasn't becoming, you wasn't really in purpose. So how you know God called you to this specific niche, this specific atmosphere, is because it forces you to become a different person in order to acquire the promises that you actually want. I'm gonna say it again. How you know God called you to this is because it's a different version of yourself that you have to become in order to acquire every big little promise that you actually have, right? I hope that makes sense. So to do that, what I want to actually touch up on, I'm gonna give you guys a definition of, calling. The definition of calling is a strong urge towards a particular way of life or career. Or the second definition is a profession or occupation. So what if I told you that God called you to this? He called you to be a leader because he wanted you to grow the people that he put under your wing. What if I told you that, this is the thing? What if I told you that God put you in this position? And that's not, this one, it really hit me. It made sense. It literally made sense. God literally told me, he said, JBL, the people who I put under your wing right now, your next level is tied to their growth. No way around it, 100%. So I'm telling you, your next level is tied to the individuals that's under your wing right now, the individuals that's in your organization right now, however which way you want to serve them, 100%. And whether if they're doing a business, whether if they're trading, investing, or whether they just joined you just because they want the personal growth, God has called them people to you. And it's up to you on how well you serve them, on how well that you help them grow and become, is when you move up to the next level. 100% facts. So when you can serve them and help them become somebody different, right? That's when you automatically, boom, that's when you automatically go to the next level, right? So understand this, guys. I'm gonna give you guys the definition of promise too. So the definition of promise is a declaration or assurance, right? A declaration or assurance that one will do a particular thing or that a particular thing will happen. That's what promise means. A declaration of assurance that one will do a particular thing or that a particular thing will happen. So check this out. Everything that you're believing for is already done. You just have to get to a place of believing. Check this out. Once you know that, because listen. God has already done it. He just needs you to believe. When you believe, the process is actionable steps. So when you believe, because God already done it, it's already purchased. Every promise you want is already done. So understanding that, and understanding that process means actionable steps towards a particular end. That's what process means. If I understand that I have to go through process to get the promises, I can be aware and know that I can wake up every single day and just be happy to serve the people that God came into my world. I can be happy to study the videos that I got to study because I understand there's actionable steps to get to that particular end, to become that different version of myself, right? I really hope y'all feeling me, right? So that's what promise means. So I know if I'm doing that, becoming, the process of coming to be something. I gotta run that back one more time, very slow, because it's hitting me right now. Promise. A declaration or assurance that one will do a particular thing or that a particular thing will happen. That's promise. God has already done it. He just waiting on you to believe to go through the process. The process is taking actionable steps towards a particular end and becoming. Becoming is the process of coming to be something. So it's somebody that I have to become to acquire every promise that I actually want. So understanding that God gives wisdom freely because information is never new. So if I have information on my hand, how do I become a whole lot sooner? I got to get an understanding. Once I get an understanding, I can walk it out. And once I understand that, if nothing can stop me from believing, nothing can stop me from manifesting. If nothing can stop you from believing, nothing can stop you from manifesting. So I'm saying all this to say, guys, the evidence is all around you because God is not going to expose you to anything that you cannot have. You just have to get to the point of understanding from this perspective. And if you understand from this perspective, guys, you can tackle as many goals as you want. But the biggest thing that's going to come in your life, guys, when you're focused, distractions are going to come every day. Every day. And if you know what your distractions are, you can go through process easily to become a whole lot sooner. Guys, focus on your growth, honor your process, and everything that you want is done. Everything that you desire is found in another person. Everything that you want is found in another person. An example, if I want to learn about credit, I'm gonna go talk to somebody with credit, with good credit. I'm gonna take notes. Once I get those notes, cool. I'm gonna get actionable steps. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna focus my energy, on those actionable steps. Don't think about don't think about the result. Let me think about the steps. So as I do those steps, I'm becoming somebody in process. And as I'm becoming somebody in process, all that simply means is every promise is mine. Let's say that I want an example. Let's say that I want to get better with relationships. I'm gonna study things on relationships. Let me talk to somebody that's good with relationships. Let me get actionable steps that I can take to become better in my relationships. Once I honor those steps, boom, I just became a different type of version of myself in relationships. That's how life works, guys. And don't be so rich in one area that you pour in another. Don't be so rich in one area that you pour in another. When you become aware of this stuff, the world is literally in your hands. You can't lose no matter what, right? So with that being said, guys, I did not want to be long at all, but I did want to be strong. I did want to bring, give you guys a different perspective so you can understand why you have to respect your process. If you don't respect the process, guess what? Your promises will not respect you. If you don't respect your process, your promises will not respect you. And it's the thing. Be more concerned about where you're going than who's coming with you. Be more concerned about where you're going than who's coming with you, right? Because at the end of the day, once you get there, you still can't go, you still gonna have to turn back around and help them get to the next level, no matter what. So with that being said, guys, I love you. We got a call with our Chairman 50 going on in about 5 minutes. Let's make sure we plug in.